Hello and welcome to Hixxy Studio. In this video I'm going to show you how to make this card using one of the dies from Jeanine's Art Hummingbee collection. This one is flower border. I am going to use another one with it as well for a little bit of embellishment, but this is kind of the main one that we're using. It's an edge die. It has no cutting line across here. So it will just cut into the edge of your card. So we've used it just to cut the end of our card. So this is the length of A4. If you have a scoreboard that can do a trifold, then score it at the trifold, because basically that's what we're looking for, roughly a third. If you don't, then 3 7/8 is close enough to score. Now I haven't folded it over yet because now I am going to put it on here. At the point I didn't tell you how. What did I do? 4 7/8, and I did that because these dies from Jeanine's Art, Precious Mariecki, Aall Creations, they're always 4 7/8. They're produced in the Netherlands, so I presume that that's the quite a standard card size for them. You can do it on a 5-inch. Just know that you'll get a little bit of a border edge there. So I am putting that on, and I'm only putting tape this side. I don't really want to put tape this side. A bit sticky, and we don't want sticky. Now the problem with cutting an edge die like this on the edge of your card is that ideally you'd want the die to go through that way, which we can't. So we are going to have to just make sure that we give it a good shim. So I'm going to use the magnetic on this because it will need some additional pressure. I don't generally like going straight for the magnetic when you've got like a detailed die that's on the edge like that. It's kind of like inevitable that you will need to use it. So hopefully it will have cut. Look, there we go, that's cut nicely, and you can see that the edges are literally just on the outside of the side of the card, so good fit. Okay, so I'm going to take the tape off, and another reason for not putting tape here, apart from the fact that you get sticky residue, it also marks the card if you've used a fair bit of pressure. Now in this particular instance it doesn't make too much difference because we're covering it anyway, but you may not be covering it, so you may just want to be a little bit careful. Now I'm going to turn it over so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to get my pokey tool and poke some of these little bits out so that they don't get ripped as we move down, because the edges of the petals are quite they're quite thin. Now that also means, not a problem, but something that we need to be aware of for the edge of our card. So what you need to do, and I have already somewhere in my prep, you need to cut another one of these, and what we're going to do is we're going to stick it behind this one to reinforce some of these delicate parts of the edge. Now if you want to use it in a different way, there is another video on the channel from a little while ago where I used this die, but I didn't use it as an edger. I used it one way and then flipped it to sort of create You could do a gatefold with it, but to create sort of the two sides of the card. So have a look at for that one. And there are other videos of other die sets from this Hummingbirds collection. It's a really, really lovely collection. Ooh, bits everywhere. So now I can fold that over on our previous school line and give it a really good pull down. Okay, and then here is the other one. This is going to be stuck behind. So what I need to do is to glue the front of this. I'm going to grab a piece of paper. So, and I want to glue, remember I need to glue on the front because it needs to sit that way up. Okay, so the glue is going on the front part. Okay, so let's start with our fine tip. And the whole point of sticking this on is we're trying to reinforce these delicate bits. So you really do need to make sure that you have got glue on these delicate bits. Otherwise, it's kind of a pointless exercise. The bigger bits I'm not worrying about for the moment. I shall put some glue on those with my larger glue in a moment. But I'm trying to make sure that I've got some splodges of glue on all these fine parts. Well, this is a lovely die for paper piecing as well because these petals are nice and large. And there's a die set in this collection called All Kinds of Insects. And that allows you to, one of them is identical to this, and you can decoupage that over the top and add in some other interesting insects in there. Again, like I say, I'm going over the fine bits because those are the bits that, this is what the point of this is. It's to reinforce all the really fine little bits. Make sure they're not going to end up getting caught. So that's all of that. So I'm now going to glue on the bigger bits. And then this is going to stick on top of this. So we're going to get the sort of the main bits lined up, the bits that are stable, like the bees and these inside petals. And then you can see that some of the other bits have moved. And you can manipulate those back kind of together. This is like this bit here. Just need to manipulate that so that they're on the top of each other. And here as well. These just bits, just because they are so sort of free form, free moving, they will move. There we go. So that is now given some more rigidity to that edge. And then the rest is really just decoration. So I've got some, let's do the matten layers first. So I've just got some pattern paper and I've gone for this black and orange, which I think is very pretty. But you could do just plain cards, you could do inky backgrounds, you could do, with your watercolour inks or alcohol inks or whatever, you could create your own but just for simplicity, I've just gone for this pattern paper. Sometimes, you know, I really enjoy making all the background. Other times it's just like something that will come together nice and quickly. All that on very well, isn't it? Okay. And then we've got 2 bits. I'm hoping I've written on inside and outside. I have. But that's going to cover there. So I'll cover up that little join that we've got there. And then this one is going to cover there, not that way up. It's the wrong way up. To go on like so. Now I can see that perhaps I've not got this lined up quite right. But I'm just going to trim that little bit off there. It's not offending me as much as it is at the moment. Okay, so the decoration in here. I have already got it cut out, but I'll show you what I used. So this is another set of dies from this collection called Strawberry Trellis. And there is a video somewhere on the channel where I've used just this. But these 2 dies I just love. I think I've used them in quite a lot of things. So I've used those 2. You can see here and here. And I used the little bead that's in it as well. And cut that out of cream. So that's what I've already got cut. And the flower, I thought that this one, this Elizabeth Craft design, the Dahlia, looked pretty much like, you know, the petal types of this. So I've gone ahead and cut those as well. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 layers of this, which makes it, if you like layering your paper flowers, which I do, then this is the perfect one. I've done no shaping on it. I've left it all flat, and it just works. This is where I find, what have I done with all the bit? Oh, there. I was going to say, phew! I knew I'd cut all the bits. Now, when you cut the trellis out, you get all these diamonds, and that's what I've used here. And so that's just the waste from this trellis part, which adds a little bit more interest. So let's grab my tweezers, and I can see I didn't put the lid back on this, so let's see whether it's going to play ball or not. Oh yes, except I put it in the wrong place, which doesn't help. So let's put some glue on this. You can use a spray glue if you prefer. Depends what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I don't mind doing the gluing, and other times it's just like, oh, it's just easier to spray it. So that's going under there. And then we've got I just love that kind of swirl. It's very delicate. So there's a lot of like little dice. So you get certain little dies that you think, wow. And this is one I really love, both the trellis and this swirl. So even if I'm not kind of making a card with the rest of the dies in the set, these ones are really nice. They make just a nice little sort of focal point in the background, put things onto. So this is kind of going, oops, like so. I've got a bit much glue on there, but that will dry clear, so okay. Right, here we go. Here are all my layers for my flower. So we're going to just put glue around. They do, as you see, have a hole in the middle. So if you have diamonds, then you might want to you know, put some of those on. I don't know, I'm doing that glue on this one again. that. So just use basically the same. Oh, why am I doing that? I don't know why I'm doing that. Staggering the petals. I'm just using the same colours, same papers as I have in the rest of the card. It just sort of ties it in then. That goes on so. And then, oh, hello. Need to stay there. And I'm going to use some 3D glue gel. Oof, which is going to go. Oof, I've not layered that particularly well, but it will suffice. Put that there. And actually, I'm going to put a little bit of glue gel there. Where I'm going to put the embellishment in a minute, and then I've got little bee that's going to go up there. And as I've got this, I'm just going to use the glue gel. Be lazy. A little bit on. It's always worth looking at the waste from a die to see if it's worth keeping hold of as an embellishment, because then it really does tie back in with the rest of the card. And then I've just got a few of these black. Put the glue down. There. And I need that. These are not pearls, they're not gems, they're just some random embellishments I've had for years. They're in a massive pack. There's some sort of oval shaped ones as well. And every now and again, a project like this that I think is just perfect for them. Now you could add a sentiment to that if you wanted to. If you want to put a message, you can do that on the back. There we have our card. The main part of which is the this flower border die from the Hummingbird collection by Jeanine's art. But we've also brought in a couple of other things. This strawberry trellis from the same collection, and then the Elizabeth Craft designed Dahlia, just to give us a little bit of embellishment. Have a look on the channel. Like I said, there are from a little while ago now, but there are lots of other videos using various different dies from this Hummingbird collection. And yeah, hopefully you'll be inspired by something. Thank you for joining me.